Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a new video. Thank you so much for being here. So today I bring you a video of my personal recommendations of books that I think go well with the autumn season, with fall season. These are my own personal opinions, so I'm not basing anything on anything objective, just my own subjective thoughts. So don't take it too seriously. I just want to share some books that I think you can enjoy this season. And yeah, without further ado, we can just go ahead and dive right into it. So I will be dividing it into like themes. The first one that I have is cozy. And for cozy, I have the first book, which is Welcome to the Hinandam Bookshop. What I can say about this is that it's a book where you will be surrounded by books because it's about a bookshop. And I was feeling very heartfelt when I read it. Our protagonist is burned out, so she leaves her job to follow her dream, which is opening a bookstore. So she does that. She also turns it into a cafe, and she hires people, she meets her clients, and we can see her just her daily life in the bookstore. This is nothing too big plot wise, but the vibes were awesome. I had a really great time reading this, and I don't know, I felt like people watching but by reading, because you get to meet all these amazing characters, and I don't know, I really enjoy that. So if you think you like this vibe, you should definitely pick this book. Okay, so for cozy, I also have this one. It's Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It's a fairly popular book, but I think I don't see it, not recommended, but like marketed, because it's like, oh, so whimsical, so fantasy. This is more like an academic text translated into a book. So because we follow Emily Wilde as she goes, I think it was Iceland, to study a group of fairies that are very elusive, and they don't have much information on them. So she goes on a field trip, I think it's called in English, where you go and try to not infiltrate, but yes, infiltrate the community of the community that you want to study. So yeah, we follow her, and we see her interact with the locals, and then there's also a little of romance of blood. I enjoyed that with the character that it's the romance interest. I really like that character. So I like the book. It was nothing groundbreaking. I don't think I gave it more than 3.5 stars, because it is a bit slow, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It just gets a bit to pick up, and the story is not really fast paced, but it was cozy, and it was educational, as educational as you can be with fairies, which I don't know, they don't exist as far as I know. So yeah. Okay, so this is all I have for cozy. And then we can go for the mystery thriller vibe. So the first book that I have is John Steinbeck of Mice and Men. This is a classic, so I assume a lot of people had read this, but I hadn't until this year. So yeah, I was missing out. I really enjoyed this. This is short, but it's a gripping story about two walkers, and there's like this man that has a friend who has mental illness. It's not a mental illness. This is difficult to explain. One of the characters has a mental discapacity, I think it's called. I am so sorry if I'm saying this totally wrong, but he doesn't know his strengths, and he has a childlike personality, so he gets into trouble. And the book is very good at depicting how everyone around him, especially his friend, is like tense waiting for something bad to happen, you know? At least that's how I felt. And then, yeah, I think you should read it. It was a very fast read, very fast paced, and very easy to understand. So I definitely recommend it if you need a feeling of tension and thrilling and mystery. Yeah. Okay. So for the next mystery or thriller, I don't have it physically, but it's the Red Queen trilogy by Juan Gómez Jurado. He's a Spanish writer, and when I tell you, I devoured the first book in a day because I needed to know what was going on. It's not much of a thriller, but more of a mystery. We follow detective who is trying to solve a case. Some murders happen, and you have a mystery where this other previous detective works, and she's amazing. I loved her. Antonia, I think she was called Antonia, I think, if I remember correctly. I promise I do have a brain. Sometimes it takes a bit to load, okay? But yeah, we also have scenes in the not used subway of Madrid, and it was very good. Very fast paced. I mean, I read it in a day, and it's a book like this big, so yeah. And there are three of them to like conclude the whole trilogy, so I think you should definitely read that. Okay, now I don't have more of a mystery thriller. Maybe we can put this after. I don't know how to classify this book. Okay, so because She's Always Hungry is a collection of short stories by Eliza Clark. But between these short stories here, we have some that could fit the spooky vibes for October because we have body horror, we have mystery, we have, I don't know, cannibalism. Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot. And her writing style is so unique, which I definitely loved when I got into the book. I was mind blown. I was flabbergasted with what I was reading. I did not know what to expect, and yeah, Miss Eliza Clark blew my mind. When I tell you, after reading the first stories, I had nightmares about it that same night. Yeah, incredible. Definitely pick this up. It's kind of like a weird horror, aliens, cannibalism vibe. There's also a bit of a wholesome, well, not wholesome, but there's a story about this restaurant. I love that. I love that short story. I wish it was a full book, but yeah, the little titly story. Love that. Okay, now we can move to the literary fiction, historical fiction, magic category, like a mix of everything. So first, I have my girl, Cersei. If you haven't read this yet, read it, please. It's a retelling of the sorcerer's story and a bit of a feminist take, which I love. And Madeline Miller's writing is a piece of like a treat for yourself. Her prose is lyrical, it's poetic, it's amazing. I don't know what I felt reading this, but I wish I could erase the book from my mind to be able to feel that again for the first time. So yeah, I'm not going to expand on the details of what this book covers because I would like for you to go as blind as possible into the books. I think, at least for me, that works better because if I go with some expectations and the book doesn't meet them, then I'm annoyed and that affects my reading and my mood. So I prefer to go as blindly as possible. So I just wanted to tell you a bit of what's it about, but not give out anything much. But yeah, Cersei by Madeline Miller. Yeah, amazing book. Then we have Hamnet, but by Maggie of Harrell. This is story about Shakespeare and his family, but Shakespeare is not mentioned in any part of the book. Like his name is not said in any paragraph, any phrase, anything. We follow mostly his wife, Agnes, and I think she is so amazing. I like her character is amazing. I think it fits the October spooky vibes because people call her a witch. It might be true, it might not be true. You just have to read it to figure it out. But I think this story was very good written. I must warn you, this was slow. I think it took me 3 weeks to end this book, and it's not that long, but the writing was full of content. Like it was dense and slow. So take that into account. If you don't like that kind of writing styles, maybe this book will not be for you. You will not like it. But I did. I think it was very magical, and I don't know. Agnes was such a treat to read. I loved her. But yeah. And then okay, more magic. We have The Raven Scholar. This book was a discovery of this year. I don't know, I just saw it randomly in a YouTube video in the background and I thought it looked very pretty. So I was like, I'm gonna search this book up. And I searched it and it was on the day of the release. So I got it, I purchased it. I was like, I need that. And when I tell you that I devoured it, this is a book about Nima. We follow her. She's a scholar and she enters accidentally a competition from where they decide the next ruler of the empire they're living in. But it's so much more than that. We have so many subplots of betrayal. We have a murder mystery. We have also have magic, and we have a system that follows. It's based in the animal kingdom magic, and I don't know their characteristics, I guess. But as you can probably guess, Nima is part of the Raven entourage, and the Ravens are the scholars, the academics, the historians. I was living through this. Also, the narrator of this book, I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but I love that. I think it added a very strong I don't know, like a strong vibe to the how the story takes form, how the book as a whole captures you. I think that it's definitely worth your read. Don't be intimidated by this size because it reads very quickly. It was fast-paced, at least for me. Maybe because I was enjoying it so much I couldn't stop. But we have everything that you need here. We also even have a bit of a romance if you need that in a book to pick it up. I must warn you, it's not the main focus, but it's there. But there's more like a plot and the betrayal and how the gods are portrayed and everything. But yeah, anyways, this was, I think it's my favorite book of the year so far. So take that as you will, I guess. I think this tower of books is going to fall any moment. Well, anyways. Okay, more magic and academic vibes. We have The Name of the Wind. If you don't like to start sagas where they don't have the last book out yet, don't do this to yourself. Don't start this one. I'm recommending it to you, but don't do it because I've been waiting for the third book for years. At this point, I just think I'm not gonna get it. Anyways, I think this is a really good fantasy book, and it has my favorite thing of all time, a university setting. The protagonist is cheeky, it's talented, he can play music, he can do magic, he can beat his classmate in a witty duel, which I love. And we can follow him through his life in the present where he's telling his story and in the past where his story is happening. Like how he gets into that university, how he starts studying and how he works to pay for the university. the relationships between him and his professors, him and his classmates. I think it's full of everything that you can want and need in a fantasy book. We also have a lot of adventure. That's something. Anyways, just do it if you are willing to suffer, because we have also the second book. We don't have the third one yet, which is supposed to be the final one, but yeah. And on theme with books that don't have yeah, I told you it was gonna fall on. Well, anyways, on sagas that don't have an ending. Yes, this is Game of Thrones. I'm sure I don't have to present what this is to you. I'm just gonna say that, in my opinion, the books are way better than the show, and we could see why the first 5 seasons were successful, because they had 5 books to be based upon, and then seasons 6, 7. Did we have an 8th season? I don't know. They were terrible. The ending, yeah, I'm so sorry, but I did not enjoy that at all. Anyways, again, books 6 and 7 are not out yet. Will they be? I don't know. I hope so. I love the books. There are some heavy, violent, and triggering themes treated in here, so please be mindful of those. But I just think fantasy goes very well with all, and this is one of the best epic fantasies I've ever read. So I don't know, if you don't mind the horrors that war and humanity bring to the plate, then you can also suffer with me and wait patiently for books that are never going to come out. Anyways, okay, we can move on to the dark academia vibe. And I only have one book to recommend you all, but boy, isn't it one book. Say what you want about Arif Kwang, but she will be my ride or die for life, okay? I love her writing. I know it's not for everyone. I just like that. It's true, it's dense. It's true, it's very factual. It's true, it's like very historical. I just don't mind that, because that's what I like. So this was perfect to me. We have magical realism too here, with the way they use silver and the translation of words to power up the world, basically. We have criticism to colonialism, which is incredible. We have Oxford, we have an academic setting, we have, I don't know, we have villains, we have anti-heroes, we have a student revolution. I don't know, this was a treat for me, you know. And if you enjoy that kind of writing, and if you want to feel some dark academia vibes, this is a book you need to read. Okay, now we can move on to the YA genre. So first of all, I have a book to recommend that unfortunately I don't think it's translated into English, because I've searched it and I hadn't found it. So if you don't speak Spanish, this will probably not be a good recommendation for you. I'm so sorry, but I just need to share it, okay? This is a book that I read when I was a teenager and I was obsessed with. It has the same vibes as Hush Hush, you know, fallen angels, demons, and it's called Dos Velas para el Diablo by Laura Gallego. Translated into English is Two Candles for the Devil, and it's just this girl, and she's 17 and her dad dies. But the twist is that her dad was a fallen angel, so to kill him, some not very human creatures had to be involved. So she has to find an alliance with anyone to find out what happened to her dad. So who enters the picture? The devil, one fallen angel, and she allies herself with him. And I'm not gonna say anything else, but you can probably guess where will it go. But I just remember having such a good time reading that. I was having a lovely time. I was devouring it. I was kicking my feet, giggling. Yeah, you know, You know the vibes, no? I don't have to explain that to you. Okay. The next book that I have here, it's An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I know this happens in like a desert setting, but for me, you know, fantasy goes with fall. And this is also, she infiltrates, I think it was a work college, okay? Yeah, like an academy. So, like, there's also murder, there's also magic, there are trials, betrayals. This is a very good book. And I still need to finish the saga because there are 4 of them. I only read book 1 and 2. I don't know why. So I will be rereading this for October probably. So we can just buddy read if you are taking me on my word and picking this book as a recommendation. So yeah, An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. And then we have Heartless by Marisa Meyer. This is my Spanish copy because I read it in Spanish a long time ago. And the way I'm telling you, this book broke me. I was sobbing, like full on sobbing while I was reading. This is a retelling, well, not a retelling, but like a fiction history of the Queen of Hearts of Alice in Wonderland. And we follow her as she starts as a very lovely baker, and then the things that happen in her life to turn her into that Queen of Hearts we all know. Yeah. So if you want to suffer like I did, and if you want to feel that love is dead and nothing is worth it anymore, you can read this. I think that was a very great pitch. Anyways, okay, we have more for YA, and these are all from the same author. I just think I really enjoy Alice in Wonderland retellings because the first 3 books that I'm gonna present are exactly that. So I have my Spanish copies here, but I think the translation is like literal. So this should be Whispers by A.J. Howard, and it's a retelling of Alice in Wonderland, and it involves bugs. Like, I think she can speak to bugs, like caterpillars, butterflies, grasshoppers, yeah, all kind of that. It's a bit creepy, like creepier than Alice in Wonderland, which I think goes perfectly with the spooky vibes for October. And yeah, I remember devouring the books and being like, what is going on in here? Because we have new characters, new romance subplots. So yeah, that was very exciting to read. And then I also have another one from the same author. It's Roseblood, and this is also a retelling. This is a Phantom of the Opera retelling. I don't have to explain more. This was really good. So yeah, you should read that. You should read that. Just take my word for it and read that. Then finally I have a middle grade recommendation. I think these books are also in English because they are really popular. I hope so. I don't know. But I have my copies in Spanish here. And this is the Fairy Oak trilogy, like the OG trilogy by Elizabeth Anon. And then what can I tell you about this? This was like my top tier book when I was in school. These, I think I've read these books more than 20 times. These are about witches. There are light witches and there are dark witches, and it is about how they have a common enemy in the village and they have to fight. They have also to go to school, to go to magic school, a lot of adventure happening. If you have a child around the age of, I don't know, I think I was like 7 to 10 when I first started reading this, I think they will love these books. I honestly read them sometimes now as an adult, so yeah, maybe you can also enjoy that as an adult, keeping in mind these are books for children. But yeah, amazing. These were the books that shaped me and my reading taste, so yeah. I think this is all for the video. If you have more recommendations, you can write them out in the comments so people can see, so I can see and try to incorporate that to my already long physical TBR for October, November, December. But yeah, anyways, this was all. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in my next video. Bye.